And so next up at the Karaoke Arena number 1, this is match number 10. And it is the host nation, Brazil, taking on Great Britain, the number 1 power from Europe. But both of these sides unable to get a victory in their opening 2 days of play. And there you see the scoreline, both Australia and Canada with victories over Great Britain and Brazil. And so this is where they are in the final of the 3 days in the preliminary round, looking for their first victory. A victory here would put them in a matchup to contest for 5th position at these Rio Paralympic Games in the wheelchair rugby. But the host nation, they have surprised. They have a big crowd in here. They will grow right up to capacity at 14,500, and they will give Great Britain everything they have to make sure that they will leave this preliminary round with a victory. Remember overall that Brazil are ranked number 19 in the world, and Great Britain coming into this tournament officially as the number 5 seed. It's going to be Schreiner, the German, and Costello, the Australian, in charge as the referees for this one.
Let's meet the players from Great Britain. Senhoras e senhores, vamos à escalação da seleção da Grã-Bretanha.
And here they come. It is Great Britain in red with the white trim. And there you see that is Mandip SEHMI, the first out, but it's led by their captain right to the front. As you will see, that was KERR Ryan. Number 22, number 5, there is Bulbul HUSSAIN. There is Mandip SEHMI. Number 9 is their big gun for this side, Jim Roberts. He's had an outstanding tournament, and he really is the player that they will look to carry and shoulder the load. This is his first Paralympics, and what a games he has had already. And Coral Beatty right through. There's a veteran of this side. Alan Ash now back involved with the GB wheelchair rugby. He missed the London Games in 2012. He's a part of them though here in Rio. This right through. There's Coral Beatty, number 23, and Ryan Cowling, 24. They're their coach, Paul Shaw, with the big smiles. He involved as a player, and then watching from the sidelines in London in 2012, but he now coaches this side. And here you will see and listen to the roar. Brazil being introduced into the arena. This one of their joint captains, Taniguchi, number 5, with the high fives all the way down. And Lucas JUNQUEIRA will make his way out. There's number 1. That is WIRZMA Jr. Number 4 is Jose Raul GUENTHER. And you're just there. Number 6 is HIGINO. You just saw him, he just came past. That was number 7, Bruno DAMACENO, just out. But this crowd is pumped up. They have loved it. They've had a very exciting team. There is HIGINO coming out, and high fives abound. He's got wheelchair rugby in his blood. His brother, a big coach. This is a power player for him. Davi ABREU, number 9. We saw him take out Roddy Bat in day 2. And this right here, number 11. Watch him go. He's a superstar in the sport, just coming into his own at these games in Rio. Julio BRAZ, number 11, and then rounding up the lineup, Alexander GUERIATO. And now time for the national anthems of both nations. Well, these are the moments that are as good as you're going to find in sport, where two nations who are battling to get their first victory in this Paralympic Games are so well matched that you just don't know which way it will go. Great Britain, devastated to have come up short by 2 to the Americans and 1 to Canada. There you see the coaches. That's Paul Shaw, and the very youthful and excitable coach is Rafael Gouvet, who's just come across to him. But Shaw measured in his moment, and they really have closed the gap, have Great Britain, with the top sides in the world. But the way this tournament is constructed, they just come a little bit short, and they will, as a result of their opening 2 days, be competing in the classification round. This is the lineup to look for. HIGINO, number 6, is very reliable. TANIGUCHI as well, number 5. Right through GIURIATO, 12. But their real main man, Julio BRAZ, watch him go. Number 11. He is going to light this building on fire with his energy, his excitement, and this, the coach, is developing equally a relationship. You see it in their eyes, the glazing over of emotion for these host Paralympic Games. It makes you emotional yourself as you see it. This for Great Britain. For their lineup, it's number 9, Jim Roberts, who's been outstanding. A great game in day 2. Gavin Walker, very capable. Right through Chris Ryan and Jamie STEAD, both number 12 and 22 respectively for Paul Shaw's side. They will hold things together, and Shaw, well, he was maybe a little surprised in nature that he was given the duties to lead this side. He's done well to close that gap, but difficult really for Great Britain. But they will also be in tough against this side here today. Junior, TANIGUCHI, ABREU, and BRAZ will be the opening 4 for Brazil. Great Britain is COGGAN, Walker, Roberts, and BHUTA. He's a very shifty and capable player as well. These two sides will just buckle up and get their 4 ready. It's the opening tip. A second away. It's been taken by Great Britain, but grabbed by ABREU. Brazil will score, and they're off and running. And ABREU is a big, powerful player. He took out Raul Bat, and that takes some doing. And now Bat is regarded as the best player in the world. ABREU's got a little bit more weight than him, in fairness, as Gavin Walker, with a very sensible read, takes that one across and levels it at 1. Though Walker is a 2.0 classification, the 32-year-old. And this, right now, ABREU is going to get a speeding ticket. He's going to go all the way down to BRAZ, and they've scored again, Brazil. The 1-2 punch is right out of the gates, and this crowd is loving it. This is Jim Roberts for Great Britain, number 9. He almost runs into the obstacles there waiting for him at center line. He goes up against BRAZ, but he's the heavier of the two. He will score his first goal of the match, and that is the first of many for sure. Roberts has won that back, a quick turnover, and as I said, he is no stranger to that goal line. He's the leading scorer for Great Britain throughout the tournament so far. .24 goals a match is the average for Roberts. BRAZ not too far off that either. He's 18. Look at him go both ways. He's run into a traffic jam there, though, and just in time. He calls that timeout before he shunted past that sideline. And that was, as we say, in the nick of time. I am wondering whether or not he called it. He would have verbally expressed it because both of his hands were on the ball. He couldn't indicate with the T of both hands, but it's a timeout for 30 seconds for Brazil. BRAZ is a former Brazilian wheelchair handball player for the national side. He made the conversion just last year across to wheelchair rugby, and it is to wheelchair rugby's credit and benefit for sure. This is Taniguchi, the captain for Brazil. He and HIGINO, who you haven't seen yet, share those duties. Roberts has a steal already. He tries to go in there. This time Taniguchi, they will not count it. He is shoved out. You see the post that moves there. They have 8 meters inside those posts to use. He can't get across as Walker, with a great defensive play, does enough to move him outside of that barrier, and they will not count the goal. Roberts is locked in. He will get it out to Ayaz BHUTA. It's a long play back to Roberts on the give and go. ABREU, and then 3 Brazilians are packing up against the Britain, but in for BHUTA. He does well. The give and go. And look at Jimmy Roberts. He will not take no for an answer. So they have 40 seconds on the scoring clock in which to cross that scoring line. On each one of their possessions, 12 seconds in which to get it over the center line. ABREU is working hard. He goes to long effort up to Taniguchi. Look at this pass again from Brazil. They are on fire out of the gates in this one. They will level it now. So rather, they are still the one back, as we saw that turnover exchange there. And this is contact on the arm. That is BRAZ who reaches in, and they're just gonna give that goal to Roberts, suggesting he was in a priority position and he was gonna score anyhow. So rather than removing BRAZ from the floor, it's accepted that he was gonna score. They will take a 2-goal lead now. You can see the referee's arm counting ABREU. He is going to run out of time here. He's got to work quick here, just across the line in time. He runs into BHUTA. That's only going to be a momentary delay there. He's rolling again. That first stop, just to collect his thoughts. BRAZ, what will he do? Where will he go? It's over to ABREU again, and they score. They are back by 1, Brazil. And every score that is made by the host nation, you hear how passionate this majority home crowd is. Great support equally for Great Britain, but obviously in a 14,500 capacity venue, the majority in Rio de Janeiro in support of the team in lime, in green. BRAZ now will go across. He takes the penalty, the contact. He'll be in there for a minute or less. It's the numerical advantage now for Great Britain, 4 against 3 on the power play. And BHUTA will score the open lane available to him. He's across the line for his first goal of the day. They have 10 seconds in which to get it inbounds. They've done that. Taniguchi up to BRAZ. BRAZ in a wheel race. I'm not sure who in the world would beat him. He's taken it across again for a 5th for Brazil, and the more he scores, the better he gets. Gavin Walker, a great support player, comes alongside, and a wait for that pass into his safe hands, and he scores again for Great Britain. That's 2 goals now for Walker. 3 for Roberts and 1 for BHUTA. Up again to BRAZ, though. Roberts will concede. He's done it again, and he is the leading scorer for Brazil. 3 for him. ABREU with 2 and Taniguchi with 1. BHUTA does well. He needs to be careful there. It almost looked as though they had boxed him in. Walker, again, the reliable option after the pressure comes against Roberts and against BHUTA. He is there as the outlet for Great Britain, and he scores again. Here comes Big Poppy Abreu over. This time to Taniguchi Abreu again. It's been stripped. BRAZ. It will be a GB inbound, though. Walker trying to find his option. BHUTA. Roberts is in the middle of two players. It's the backside to BHUTA. He uses what's available. A smart linking pass up to Roberts. And uncontested across for another score. He's now got 4 in this match. Taniguchi with that linking play up to BRAZ, always a good option. He comes back, he's got Roberts on him. He's created some room here though. He's got 20 seconds on the shot clock, the scoring clock. Backside of Taniguchi, it's forced. Roberts will pick it up. And we'll just see officially what was the call. So he was out of bounds, was Taniguchi. So what comes with that is an inbound for Great Britain rather than what was a turnover in open play. And you saw Roberts was going to take that one the full length of the floor. So as Taniguchi was reaching back, his wheelchair just leaves the boundaries. And immediately that is the violation. Roberts is going to have to back out of here. He's got HIGINO on him too. This is STEAD. And they've called a timeout. I think it's Roberts who indicates it. This man here is the next real rising star. And these games have been a showcase for the sport of wheelchair rugby. And so capably carrying the torch to display it here in South America. And it's fascinating to learn that Brazil is a nation of people of just over 200 million, and 40 million of them have an impairment. So these Paralympic Games have resonated for sure with this country. Roberts again. He will get now to 5 goals. And of the 10, he's right at 50% output. HIGINO goes long. Abreu has really come out and put the offense on the board for Brazil in this matchup. He can do both physical and the skillful. He's got 4. Good blocking play from Jim Roberts coming back. He's trying to open up the floor for Jamie STEAD, the 22-year-old. It's up to Gavin Walker. Walker before he gets forced back. And Jim Roberts, he has pretty much a key to most doors in this competition. A master key that just gets him away, out of trouble, and wherever he really wants to go for Great Britain. Up to Abreu, 2 players. GB actually with the incidental contact. Abreu will just burn rubber Across the line again. He is the action man right now, and you see him drawing in air. Roberts up against BRAZ, and that wheel race right from the beginning. It was Roberts who was going to take it. HIGINO makes that inbound to ABREU. BRAZ is going to get to the open floor. He's up against STEAD. He'll turn the corner on him here, but he's got that tight sideline. This play across ABREU is impressive, but he can't get to it in time as he goes right through the advertising hoarding. He's suggesting as though there was contact on him. I think he needs an adjustment to his chair, but to get him into the open field right now, he has really shown another aspect to his game. So it's officially deemed a turnover against ABREU, and that's a tough call because he's got to catch up to that ball in a place that really was no win for him. He had to get it in time before the goal line, and then equally inside that post as well. And he just ran out of real estate. Jim Roberts. And I've been mentally compiling a list of the fastest players in this tournament. And in watching him just do his thing out here, he has really just put himself in the top 3 in this tournament for sure. And depending on the play, Riley Batt, Zach Medell, Jim Roberts, and equally BRAZ, they would be the players that look to be the fastest. So maybe a top 4 officially. ABREU will call a timeout. And now a little bit of distance on the scoreline as Great Britain 13-9 up with 1:21 to go in this opening period. They are starting to find a little bit of a wind at their back. So a win in this matchup for either of these sides sets them up for sure as the 3rd place finisher in this Group A. And then, of course, they get to battle for 5th position. A defeat would see them as the 4th place finisher in this group. And, of course, then the contest for 7th position in Day 4. They both want to win. And Brazil with possession on the inbound. BRAZ has spent enough time looking at all his options. He's going to score this side, though. Patience is a virtue, and so is a nose for goal. Inside this last minutes, and double digits now for Brazil. Contact, though, on the arm. And BRAZ is going to now come across and take at least a few seconds in the penalty box. Very proud performer, great physical strength. But to just be taking up this sport in the last year, it really says something, but he had the skills already at top level performance to be playing wheelchair handball. This transition has been a smooth one indeed for him. Roberts will take it across the line in hopes that they'll get another possession before the quarter is up. And there a little bit of British rugby royalty looking on. all the way. They will take it, and across this line, it's a score and a new score for Brazil. Damasceno with his opening goal of the match. Roberts takes that initial contact from BRAZ. Again, though, he is comfortable in those areas. He comes back against the grain, and he looks to try to lose one of these defenders. And the picking comes in perfectly from STEAD. Roberts managing this clock here. And he scores for Great Britain. 7.7 remaining in the opening period. And they'll do their best to shield off this 4-point margin. And time runs out for BRAZ, but never the desire to score. It's been another great period of action. Brazil bring that to any game that they have played in this tournament thus far. Not only with the home crowd, obviously extra interested in the host nation and how they perform, but they play probably the most entertaining style of any of the teams here. It is Great Britain 15, Brazil 11 after the first period in the wheelchair rugby. So a look back over the opening 8 minutes. They turn it over 4 times. The defensive fouls, ultimately that gives the opposition team, Great Britain, 3 more opportunities for what looks to be a certain score with the numerical advantage. But if they can just be a little bit cleaner with that, they will keep themselves in the hunt here. Gavin Walker gets things rolling. Abreu with a sensational opening 8. The BRAZ, the Dynamo. And Taniguchi equally as well. So great to see the distribution throughout the lineup. 4 different scorers in that opening 8 for Brazil, 3 for Great Britain. A 2-minute break between periods, and enough just to collect your thoughts and have a drink and a quick breather. It is Great Britain up by 4, and the inbound coming over here on the near side. And the first play in, that's Bulbul Hussein who makes that feed in to Roberts. He's run over the line. He's called the time just before he does. Coral Batey equally now out there for Great Britain too. So a utilization. She is the 21-year-old. Bulbul Hussein, he's 44 years of age. Now I can't as yet think we've seen Bulbul Hussein for Great Britain in those opening 2 matches. So good to see him involved as it's into Ayaz BHUTA. And he's got to bounce it to keep this play moving. He's got 2 Brazilians on him, and he's lost it. And BRAZ, the high five with Rafael Hoffmann. They've stolen that one back. To the backside and picked up. 2 players immediately. Well crafted here. Hoffmann up to BRAZ. He's going to turn on a dime. He's got Batey with that big bumper coming in. They could hold and lock him up. They look as if they have. He still can't get away, BRAZ. He is having to do everything under his power, and that's the nightmare that is those big bumpers, those defensive players. Here she is again, Batey. Well done. The feed inside, though. Brazil find a way, and they move it around for their 12th score of the day. It's into Roberts, and he has 3 Brazilians right surrounding him. Quick ball movement to Batey. Batey will pick it up. She controls it. She needs support, though. It's the offload and the handoff from Roberts. He's asking for BHUTA to go long. BRAZ is right at him, though, stripping at that ball. Again, trying to lash it out of the hands of BHUTA. Well into Batey, what a play, and there the opening score for her as she takes it across the line. Great positioning, well executed goal from GBR. It's Hoffman looking for his inbound option over the top. And that was Damasceno who gets it to him, but it's that 12-second clock. They're creating enough chaos here right now, Great Britain. This is precious timing. He just gets there. And that's one battle done. Still working up against BHUTA and Roberts. BHUTA has got in there. Not quite quick enough. A good spin move. Damasceno. It's 3 against 2. And 8 seconds only remaining. BRAZ has been taken out now. And Coral Batey and Bulbul HUSSAIN have come in here and have got the front of their bumpers under the wheels of BRAZ, and they've taken him away twice now. That's very effective play. The long pass in. BRAZ has got it. He is in an almighty tussle to get across the line against Batey, but he will score. Great defense, though, from Great Britain. So 5 goals. He reaches in. He'll get a foul there on the arm of Ayaz BHUTA. And you see what that frustration does a little bit to BRAZ with the way he's been attended to by HUSSAIN and Batey. They've got under his skin a little bit.
We have a penalty. Brazilian number 11. Going to be 1 minute out.
Substitutions for Brazil. This is our look at Alexander GUERIATO. He comes in, number 12. And Roberts will try and spin away from the first 2 efforts to get to him. He's got too much speed, though. And with the player advantage, Roberts has now scored. He's into 11 goals now. A long route to get there. BRAZ now back involved. We haven't seen a lot of him. He's been taken out of the play, and that has been a good tactic employed, but he's back rolling now, and he's got a 6th for Brazil. BHUTA has put that one into his lap safely. He's protected it. He will take it all the way down and suggesting he's been contacted on the arm, but the referee, he says otherwise. Good linking pass here again. Brazil opening up this floor all the way down, and they'll take it. And it is going to be Camargo with his first goal of the match for Brazil.
Passe para gol do camisa 3, Guilherme Camargo. Brasil jogou os 15, Grã-Bretanha 18.
Roberts is in a different class out here right now. Again, he scores, and it's just a little too easy. If they give him a headway, you're not going to stop him. And BRAZ immediately, Bulbul, HUSSAIN, and Coral BATEY force him to give it up. It's up to, and it's taken back by Roberts, and that's what speed does. Speed kills, and it's taking the momentum away from what BRAZ can generate. He tries to make the contact there on Roberts, but he's done his good work already, and he puts it in the bank.
Ataque britânico finaliza o gol. Vantagem vai para 5 agora. 20, Brasil tem 15.
GIURIATO churning those wheels forward. But Jim Roberts is right on you. He's never too far away. Oh, and they turn it over again. They force that passing play, and GIURIATO knows it. He knows that that was a decision that he'd like to have back. Ayaz BHUTA all the way the length of the floor, converts it for another British score.
Passe errado contra o ataque britânico e gol de Ayaz. Vantagem britânica em 6, Grã-Bretanha 21, Brasil 15. Tempo solicitado pelo Brasil, tempo de 1 minuto. Time out Brasil. Been more than 4 minutes to end this second quarter. Brazil 15, Great Britain 21.
So up by a half a dozen, and this move to bring in BATEY and Bulbul HUSSAIN has worked out well for Shaw. They have found a way to take the spark out of Julio BRAZ, and because Julio BRAZ can light this building on fire as far as the excitement and the encouragement from this home crowd. He plays that brand of wheelchair rugby that you're not going to be able to stop him. He's just going to go on to another level. And they're running out of time. They've got to be quick. They call a timeout here. And they pull it down. And this from Brazil. They need to just make sure they're on the same page. These closing 4 minutes of this opening half, they'll either take a bite out of the scoreline or they're going to let things slip from them. They know that. They're right here on the precipice of being able to compete for this match. If it gets more than 6, they're in trouble. Just using that screen, forcing Roberts to commit one side. And back against this GIURIATO, the 34-year-old. He's got some room here, a little bit of a decoy, but they popped it out again. And that's just a good disruptive play. 10 seconds remains on this score clock. And now down to 4 seconds. They're really going to need to work quickly here. BATEY has been immense, as has Bulbul HUSSAIN. The two of them together at 1.0. They're just 3 points, or a 3-point classification, the two to combine. So Coral BATEY is a 2.0. And that is the full use of the 40 seconds, and that's a part of what they've been able to craft out here. They are creating congestion, and they're slowing this man down.
Brazil ran out of time. Just a reminder, the team has 40 seconds to attack.
So impressively, Roberts is the 3.0. And the highest level function, a 3.5. So they get that extra 0.5. They also get the extra 0.5 because of Coral Beatty having a female on the floor. So that's how the Brits are putting together this 4 unit right now, this unit of 4 players.
To the end of the second quarter, Brazil 15, Great Britain 22.
BRAZ is going to change up his tactic. He's going to make the inbound now. It's in to ABREU. He works well out there. They need that. Haven't seen a lot of HIGINO so far today, but they need speed. BRAZ has been locked up again. Both Beatty and Bulbul HUSSAIN have done their job, but it's for TANIGUCHI. He will score again. And Brazil a little more creative this time. They find a way around this defensive system of Great Britain. So a lot will be learned by how this is working right now. The way Great Britain have executed the play against BRAZ, he will get back into position against Beatty. Beatty with a good decoy move in and out like a fiddler's elbow, and she plays her own music. That's her second goal of the match. Here's the big man, ABREU. He is driving, and he is better going north. He's straight ahead now. He bounces it, in which to give himself some more time. Enough body weight and enough purpose there, the speed across the line. And he's back igniting this crowd. He's got a half dozen. Into a tight spot. They've overcompensated. They leave the long pass. BHUTA just worrying about getting it across that line in 12 seconds. Here's Beatty again. She's got a hat trick. There's her third, and on the board, she has been great since coming on and giving a whole different look now for Great Britain. It really is impressive to see how well Coral Beatty has been utilized. And seeing her, because we've only seen her just ever fleetingly in the opening 2. And this is working well. Roberts is going to need some repair on his left wheel, I think. And maybe it was just the adjustment seems to have fallen in place and tightened back up again. But nope, again, he is requesting some support.
2 minutes and 2 seconds to the end of the second quarter. Very exciting match. Brazil 17, Great Britain 24. Tempo solicitado pela Grã-Bretanha. Timeout, Great Britain.
So Brazil are waiting in their own defensive zone for the product of this timeout now, with 2 minutes just over in the opening half. The 7-goal advantage now for Great Britain. They want to make sure that they maintain that and obviously want to increase it, but they can't allow, is what they're wanting to achieve here now, Brazil to get this crowd into it, get this man into it. They have done so well with BRAZ to manage him, as he really should be through into double digits, but he's on 6, and that's a big part of this advantage that they're currently enjoying. KERR Ryan comes out with STEAD and also COGGAN now on the floor. Roberts comes around the near side. He's got room to move, and he'll work it again. Taniguchi, he's moving well right through the middle of the floor. He's up, and this is a wheel race up against STEAD as he got a lane. He might do the handoff. He's going to get abruptly barged into by Roberts. Now he's got 3 players on him, and they've turned it over. What a play. Is it back? Is it still alive? And it's in. I think it is going to be effectively a possession arrow as both Roberts and Taniguchi lock horns there. But it will be in favor of Brazil. Great speed, but once he got himself stopped at the end of the road, immediately Great Britain are on him. BRAZ with the ball again. That's where you expect to see him. It's where you want to see it, really. He is so dynamic and entertaining. A cross block provided for him by Taniguchi. This time for BRAZ, he wants to get back scoring again. He's got to pass it inside to ABREU. It pops around, and they run out of time in that 40-second clock. He's doing his best to keep positive, is BRAZ, but you know he's frustrated. Taniguchi, he's going to struggle to keep up with Roberts in the open floor. The hit from BRAZ, and it opens up for STEAD. Here comes ABREU with that same action, but wide open again. It is Jimmy Roberts, who's on to 16 goals inside the last minute of his first half. ABREU sends it up to Taniguchi. He smothers it. He might catch this up just before the line. He does not. He rides over it just for good measure. And it still is a spherical object. He didn't flatten it. Goes for it, and then it's under the wheels. And it's ball kill, but except it's just fine.
Da roda da cadeira ali do camisa 1 do Brasil, WIRZMA. We'll have maintenance now. Brazil's number 1.
The clock ticking, being counted on Ryan to get it in. He does to STEAD. Driving well to STEAD. He's got the option up to Ryan, but ABREU comes right, swinging right through. And he'll look to try and make this handoff. It's a little bit of deception there. He holds it, keeps it away. BRAZ is going to come around. He's going to fully encircle him and swipe now like a demon. They're trying to get that ball out. Now they've got a challenge, but Ryan is there inside the last 10 seconds. And Great Britain, before, there's the 2 wheels across this line. And they've got a double-digit lead now with 3.2 seconds remaining. And COGGAN takes it down in a very impressive half from the European champs. They are really seen as the most dominant force in Europe. They've come into this one in South America against the hosts. And they take the opening half, 27-17 in the wheelchair rugby. This is the final day of Group A play as well. Turnovers, 10 of them to 1 for Brazil committed. The 4 defensive fouls. And then overall, it's the execution of Great Britain, just utilizing the strength they have with Jim Roberts. He has 16 goals leading the way, but how strategic and clever they were to utilize both BATEY coming in and then Bulbul HUSSAIN. That did take the air right out of the tires of BRAZ, but there he is when he's rolling in the open floor. They put a little bit of a kink in that approach. As Great Britain were excellent through the second period particularly. They win it by a score of 12-6. So the teams with a quick break at halftime will load up and be ready for the third period in just a moment. The energy high again inside this karaoke #1 arena in Rio's Olympic Park. These are the Paralympic Games in the wheelchair rugby. It's the second half coming up between Great Britain and the host nation, Brazil. It's Great Britain in red and white, and it's Gavin Walker who takes the ball in. Roberts, their leading scorer at #9, and he picks up where he left off in that first half. Taniguchi going a long ways right now, but he is going to run out of time. He makes that long pass up, well received, and taken into the capable hands of Alexander Guilherme. And a smart play from Roberts. He wins a possession, a held ball, and then they go to the possession arrow. Paul Shaw feeling better about things right now, up by 11 goals. It's ABREU who gets it in. Taniguchi, the co-captain for Brazil. BATEY making life difficult for Taniguchi and forces a timeout call. And BATEY is a nuisance right now for Brazil. They cannot find a way to get away from her. She's relentless. Try to cross block her out, they do, but immediately it's the 1-3 defense coming, and then now the activation from the two post players. Down low, the long pass, and it's going to be Great Britain. You heard the sounding, well, it sounded to be a wheel that had been damaged, and that's ABREU who's just recognizing it now. So he's back rolling. Sometimes it just takes that secret bang of the equipment to make sure that it's all in place. Walker is taking the tightrope to get out of that defensive pressure, but he's linked it up to Roberts now, and Roberts will just look back casually as he scores again. That's his 18th goal for Great Britain. GIURIATO has gone a lot of east and west here right now. He needs to get going north or he's going to run out of time. The play is there, but it's going to be turned over. Coral BATEY is the first one to it. She recovers it. And this is part of the relentless pressure coming from Great Britain, forcing Brazil into these turnover mistakes. BATEY will take it. You think she does, she has it. Well done. As she has now her 4th of the match. Oh, and again, it can't be taken. This it will be across the line. And Mike KERR with the score for Great Britain. Taniguchi will be glad just to get away from BATEY. He plays it up. ABREU cannot control it on the first, and again he's got issues with his equipment and he needs a new wheel, but it's just lost the edge, hasn't it, Brazil, right now? They just are not able to get that ball movement as they have, and they're looking a little bit different and a little bit fatigued as this match is rolling on. Great energy, and part of this young side, their coach, Rafael Gavin, just under 29 years of age, is Brazil as a team, 32 exactly for Great Britain. And we have seen as probably the oldest team in the tournament is Sweden. Their average age is just under 40. It's in and finally converted. Well taken by GIURIATO. Gets this Brazilian scoring machine back on track. So they're a man that knows a thing or two about rugby union. All the way up, it's Walker who will convert it again, and another score. That'll be his 4th now. Good control, but again, it's about speed, and they've turned it over. It's the 12 seconds that has expired, and you see the frustration from the bench. They'll make a substitution or a timeout utilized here now. Just managing some of that inefficiency is what's going on in the Brazilian timeout here. Keeping things positive, learning from some of those mistakes, but without BRAZ going in this lineup right now, he really is the player in the background, number 11, that just carries the momentum and just generates that speed. And they've lost a little bit of that now. And possibly HIGINO is another good, reliable option, but there are a number of different looks. There still is more rugby to be played after day 3, obviously day 4 in the classification matchups, and equally the semifinals, and then day 5, those are the medal matches. Walker distributes it up to Roberts, and they are underway again, Great Britain, increasing their lead. And Roberts just one short of 20 now. Well taken by Taniguchi in full flow. He's across the line. Can Roberts get to him? He can. He's going to just draft in behind him. The block is there, and then the parting of the North Sea. And through they go. It's Taniguchi with the 3rd goal of the match for himself. Roberts with the offload to himself. He can just generate speed, and right now there isn't a player that has the speed to match him on the floor. He really is on his own, particularly with BRAZ on the bench right now. ABREU working, and it has been hard work. Walker, great speed as well. Comes right back to take that away. And Walker is a 2.0, but ABREU is back scoring and his crowd enjoying it. They're trying to play up tempo. You see, that's what's being requested. Coral, BATEY as Davi ABREU. What a spin move as she just turns on a sixpence and leaves Brazil in her wake. She just takes it in her stride. She's got 5 goals right now, but in this particular matchup, or in this tournament so far, we've not seen that from her. That's not how she's been utilized, but outstanding. Taniguchi, left and right. And one more time, they come up short of that center line before 12 seconds on the scoring clock has expired. And that's a 5th turnover for Taniguchi. ABREU has 4. And this now coming across, it's Mike KERR to make the inbound. Roberts up against HIGINO. HIGINO number 6 there for Brazil. And again, Roberts with all the right moves. HIGINO will not have the speed up against Roberts. He advances it up. This is well taken. Better movement. The cross block has been executed. BATEY has been dislodged for a second. They've got time, 20 seconds. He might need to pass it. He does, and it's across the line. And why not? Right into the hands of Rafael HOFFMANN. He's got a pair of goals today. And it's BATEY. Well, there's as much use of that wheelchair as she has had in this tournament today. Using it physically and equally with the speed she's generated. She's got the ball again. And I just can't speak more highly of how well she has played. The bounce, the spin, the offload, she seems to know where everybody is at all times. And just looking across her scoring today, she's got the 5 goals, the 1 steal. She hasn't turned it over at all. She's been flawless. So the substitutions, and Mandip SEHMI, the first action he has seen in this tournament, he comes in. COGGAN as well. And in the penalty box is the Brazilian. And that, of course, is Alexandre GUERIATO. So he'll be in there for a minute or less. And inside now of the remaining 3 in this third period. Mandip SEHMI takes on the first big hit. That is HOFFMANN right into the front of him. And then HIGINO just circling around, waiting to see where he can be useful. Roberts, just too assertive, too purposeful, and mobile. He'll score again. And he really has dominated this matchup. Has seen Great Britain safely ahead and in a great lead here. And if you watch those couple matchups, this all the way long for HIGINO. It might be for Roberts. It is HIGINO who gets there just in time. And he will backward spin, but he'll be stopped, and now he's got some support. The offload up for GUERIATO, and just in time it's kept, but Roberts, he's got Stickham on those paws. And he's forced a penalty against. But it's been a tough tournament for Great Britain to have come so desperately close to the top 2 teams in this group, both Canada and Australia, and a combined score defeat between the 2 teams of 3 goals only. 52-50 was the scoreline against Australia. And officially, it was 53-51, my apologies, and then the overtime victory for Canada. They got to 50 first. And that was just by 1. They beat them 50-49, did Canada. So, we say, as close as you're going to get to getting into contention for a medal here in Rio, but still a jump to make into those top 4 teams. HIGINO with the long effort up. That's a great pass, and he's got that in his playbook. He's executed it perfectly. The 1-2 play. That ball movement, Mandip SEHMI, he'll go. And this is going to be his first goal. And a great score as well for him, a veteran of this side. A part of them, of course, in 2012 in London. And this is first action, and that his first goal. Through the middle and to the outside, it is GUERIATO. And I expect we will see BRAZ again in the 4th period of play. He's a guy that wants to be involved. He brings so much more speed. And this has been forced. It plays right into the hands of Great Britain. And GUERIATO right now has just made a few too many turnovers, where he's just made decisions that I'm sure when he looks back and reflects on them, and particularly watches them on video, he'll learn from them. Roberts is again just crushing this scoreline right now. It's up to 40 goals overall. He's got 24 of them. And that's a favorable call for Great Britain. HIGINO had a great control of it. And then with the one hand reaching in, Roberts, they're saying that that was a 50-50 ball. And that really is the rub of the green there for Great Britain. But you make your own luck. And the way they have really broken this Brazilian side down since they've lost BRAZ in the lineup, they really just, as I say, haven't had that same energy. And it's been a systematic approach. That was a fundamental and a tactical decision made by Great Britain, and they executed it perfectly with both Bulbul HUSSAIN and Coral Beatty when they came out to double team up against them. Roberts is managing the shot clock as well as the game clock. He will call a timeout right 2 seconds before. And so that will give them the benefit of 15 seconds now. As a result of that timeout, they'll have the inbound and they can control the remaining portion of this third period. It's Mandip Semi with it. He's around to the backside. He's got enough strength, but the speed, the angle he's lost, is he gonna just muscle his way forward? And that's worked out, and you can see that's a little bit of a return call, as the contact on the ball, they suggest, is a held ball. And it's a turnover. And HIGINO, the last play of the third period, and it was a very impressive period again from Great Britain. They win this one by a score of 13-5, and over the 3 periods so far, there you see the score line. Great Britain 40, Brazil 22 at 3/4 time. "19 turnovers," the story today. Great Britain have studied this matchup very closely, and they have executed a perfect game plan. They've stolen it as well 9 times. And Jim Roberts has done his job, as he has for the side already in this tournament. He averages 24. And it's all up to him. It's STEAD with the handoff. Alan Ash, the 43-year-old, and a part of this program in the subsequent Paralympics leading up to London, and now back and competing for them here. A part of the leadership of this side. The feed internally. This on the backside, Jamie STEAD will record that one. And it's pretty easy and comfortable from there. He just takes it right across the line and relatively uncontested.
Goal scored by Great Britain. The score so far, Brazil 22, Great Britain 41.
The long play up. This is better defense this time. Not going to give any easy points. The big hit from the captain, KERR Ryan. He drops into the Brazilian. And Coral Batey back out there. She is a nemesis for Brazil, but HIGINO, are they going to count it? They will. They suggest that he got it before crossing the line, and that's his first goal of the day. STEAD back and rolling again.
Assistência também ali, camisa 8 do Brasil, HOFFMANN.
And this much more calm in the fourth and final period of this one. It's STEAD handing it off to Alan Ash. And Ash will just have a chat with his teammates as to how they want to approach it. It's deliberate. It's now starting to elevate and peak. The play, Coral Batey looks like an option in there. This for STEAD, and it's back to Ash. Ash is going to score his opening goal of the tournament. And that's over the 3 matches that Great Britain have played. These are his first minutes, and he will score. And HIGINO right back, though. He puts it on the board and gives it back to the ref. Alan Ash with the play in. He's got to get moving to be an option if he can. STEAD one-on-one, just finds enough room. And again, the seam is available to him. He carves back against it and into that left post area. So for STEAD, that's his first as well. So some distribution across both lineups in their scoring output today. It's over the top, and it's into their number 8. That's HOFFMANN. Back to GIURIATO all the way forward. But the whistle had blown already. And it's a 12-second violation one more time for Brazil. And those have hurt them today desperately. KERR Ryan now scoring again for GB. That's his second. He's the captain. So we've seen a lot more. This another score. Brazil all the way down, and GIURIATO only too happy. He's a little bit frustrated with how some things have gone in this matchup. ABREU watching from the sidelines. But he's turned it over 3 times, that's GIURIATO, but right there he just drops it for his 3rd goal. Good hit. It's into Ash, though. A safe pair of hands, the offload. STEAD up to Batey. Batey has the corner here, and she's going to pass it. Such an unselfish play into the captain. It's going to be KERR Ryan to score, but again, Batey with both left and right hands, she can distribute that ball. Oh, and speed. Speed is the name of the game. And right through and again, driving in the fast lane, Rafael Hoffmann has his third goal of the match for Brazil. So a little bit of a resurgence here in this fourth period from the South Americans. They're down by a score of just 5-4. Instead, he'll take it back and increase it by 2 just in this fourth period alone. HIGINO over the top, takes that right into the basket. He's got Ash right up against him. Good work around this backside. They'll score, though. It is going to be Hoffmann to convert again, and that's his fourth goal for Brazil. He has double trouble up against him, and he turns the corner just as sharp. Linking play, Alan Ash back with national duty. And here now internationally representing Great Britain at the Paralympic Games once again. Difficult for him, of course, 4 years ago, not a part of this side, but bringing in some new personnel. Paul Shaw responsible for how this team has been assembled for Rio. And closing that gap of the top 4. That's where they finished, of course, in London. And they are now putting themselves in that classification matchup again, but it's tough. It's tough to get into the top 4 in wheelchair rugby. So deep, so capable, and also some real front runners, some superstars. And GB are just about there. Over the top to HIGINO. He's got good pace, and he'll take another score. And he, a joint captain with Taniguchi. Now he has 3 equally to his running mate, who they share this captaincy with. And more substitutions have been called for Great Britain. Those are being indicated there right now, but it's a timeout to just make sure it's these two sides. As a result of this matchup, this will be the last time they see each other in this tournament. That's the way it will set up, as the third place is now looking like it's going to belong to Great Britain in this group. So they will just go across and play the alternate number 3 team when we get to these classification matches. And out is Ayaz BHUTA with control of this. And he's had, well, probably an easier day for him. I'm sure he'd love to have been out the floor more, but they have distributed this floor time across this lineup. Inside again for Roberts, the good feed. And it's BHUTA to get it to him. He's got 25 now. Working and almost again unable to get it across in 12. They do. He speeds it all the way down and was just more than 12. You saw, and it's a great score. Just being assertive and wasting no time going east and west, but rather just true north and get going towards the goal line. Ayaz BHUTA with some good move at the end there. In and out, HIGINO couldn't stay with them just as quick. That's his 4th of the day. And a good passage of play now for GIURIATO as he's put his 5th goal on the board, creating some more speed. And that is a game. Brazil, they play best when they are playing with speed, ball movement. And that's fair to say of any team in wheelchair rugby, but really obvious with the way Brazil have played, that they need to really just, of course, maybe think a little bit quicker and just activate, always in motion. HIGINO, I believe, leaves the field of play, and so he'll get a penalty for that one. So it's a defensive foul officially against HIGINO. He's off in the penalty box area. And again, more changes for Great Britain. So 4 against 3. And our first look at Ryan Cowling, the 40-year-old, a part of this British side. He really does have that long defensive chair. And you saw what BATEY was able to do up against BRAZ with that. He can block and certainly become an obstacle for the defense to navigate. It's another score for Roberts. HIGINO has got to be careful. Time is against them. They could just make it. They do across that center line. And with all that speed and all of that direction, it's going to be DAMACENO, or rather it's HOFFMANN, number 8, who will score. He's got a 5th. And Jim Roberts, he is, well, he's just, as I say, in this particular game, there's just no touching him. And the more I watch him, I wonder, just if you're putting together, so I talked about speed earlier, maybe the top 4 players that we have seen, and then just the top 4 players, 5 players in this tournament. He's a 3.0 officially is his classification. Jim Roberts. And the other dominant players generally 3.5s. I think it's pretty fair to say in the 3.0 category, he has been the best in this Paralympic Games tournament. Ayaz BHUTA has turned enough times to see his shadow. He's going to get forced out of the area, though. He's gone into that post, and you see he's a little bit frustrated. Just couldn't quite look inside as he wanted to. And then GIURIATO, oh, you see the celebration from HOFFMANN there. Oh, he was pumped with that one. And of course, you have to take your victories when they come. That's all part of the competition and the swagger that comes with it. Time against Brazil. Can they get across the line? They're not going to, and they have lost out with that 12-second violation again, and they end up simply having too many obstacles and not being quick enough in advancement. And just too many British players in their way, knowing how to force them to take the long road. Now this is contact. HOFFMANN will go across and sit down for a minute or less. And the body language from their coach looking in, Guevevo. He's just, well, he's seeing it, he knows it, and also learning what he must now do to try and improve his side. They have shown themselves to be very capable. There's a lot more that this younger Brazilian side, of course, can take on board and playing against these top teams firsthand. They will utilize that to develop and strengthen this program going forward. Thrusting right in, coming out of that penalty box area, trying to open up some room. And again, if they're not quick, they could, of course, have another violation. It's across and up, and it's just kept in, but he leaves the field of play as he does touch it. And that, of course, will be a Great Britain throw-in. Roberts, you expect him to score another one. 27 so far. He's bouncing it to keep it alive. He's pretty mild-mannered about it. He gives it to BHUTA to get himself open. He's got it back now. 2 Brazilians on him. That won't stop him. He can get around them, I suspect, if he really wanted to. He does one move. He's got another spin. He's going to kill this clock right down, and he hopes at the end for BHUTA he can get him in. And they're not going to count it. They're going to say that BHUTA was into the post area again. So precise, as they couldn't quite unlock that back alley. And that is full time, as the entire 32 minutes have now elapsed and the players shake hands. It was a very workmanlike performance from Great Britain. The applause and the acknowledgement of what has been a huge celebration and equally a stepping stone. These host Paralympic Games for Brazil, as they will be beaten by Great Britain in the last match in this preliminary round by a score of 52-32. And Ayaz BHUTA, they will go on and compete for 5th position in this tournament. Roberts, a very classy player indeed, and as I say, probably very easy to say at 3.0 already, the best player in this tournament at that classification.
Brasil e Grã-Bretanha aguardam definições dos lugares do outro grupo para as definições dos próximos adversários. Mais uma vez, uma salva de palmas às duas seleções, Grã-Bretanha e Brasil.
So the pictures, they tell the story. The emotion of these moments There's still more to come in wheelchair rugby. This is day 3, and there is Julio BRAZ, who probably found a little bit of additional difficulty in this one against Great Britain. They were effective. They knew how to try and control him, and they did it really to a T. But Roberts, he also did his job for Great Britain, leading from the front with those 27 goals. Overall, those 22 turnovers, they were decisive, and they were, of course, a big part of the difference. The defensive fouls, you can really sort of overcome those, but the full score line is a product of the ball management that Great Britain were just so much better at today in this matchup, and they'll take it. And with that, they put themselves into 3rd position. They will battle for 5th in the classification matchup coming in day 4. Brazil will battle for 7th, and Australia and Canada still to come as the remaining match in this Pool A to determine who will finish 1st and 2nd in the group.